waiting on Pete. Pete, Mike, check 1 2 1 2.
Wait. What are you waiting on?
You, princess.
What do you need? What do you need me to do right now?
Well, I just need to know you're there.
Oh, I'm here. Sorry.
You touch it softly, gently.
Will you put the
That a
lotion
little
on
rougher.
its skin?
I mean, I'm gonna stand up in a second here and finish making my drink, but I, I'm here.
Oh,
I can hear.
okay.
I can speak.
Is it also made with Skull vodka?
No, you know,
You are an
Gosh.
animal, sir.
Schnucks closed down over here, and I just can't find the stuff anywhere. So I'm back to Fleischmann's.
I don't know if that's better.
Pete, we got to talk, man.
It's not better, but it's in the same price range.
This is true. I guess if you put in enough mixer, it really doesn't matter what you're drinking, huh?
It does.
Guess not when it comes to vodka, really.
Right. It doesn't taste like anything. I'm not sure what justifies spending more on it. It's like people who buy bottled water of varying degrees of quality. You understand it's water, right?
No.
Okay.
No. But
Not
what's
a
going
chemist.
on? What is going on, everybody? I'm the one, the only, the WOOKIE. Joined here by our semi-normal cast of usual misfits. We have the PhD of KeyForge, Dr. M. Sheep.
Hello.
The Minnesota Deuce, Ewok Jr.
Hello, KeyForge community. Glad to be here.
Drazcor is on assignment currently. So we've brought in Pete.
What it is, what it do.
Pete was down with us down in St. Louis. We had a fantabulous time. I pinged Dexter. He didn't answer. He must be doing Dexter, whatever Vault Warriors do. I don't know what they do.
He's bathing in all of the new decks that he is just sitting on his bed,
Just
throwing
rolling
decks on
around in
himself.
them naked.
Yep.
That's probably what I'd be doing.
But we did get news before we get it into St. Louis, boys and girls. If you are headed to the one and only Baltimore, our next Vault Tour stop, you too can get Mercy Malkin Queen. That's the early blurb.
I'm not sure how excited I am about Mercy Malkin Queen. I also wasn't really excited about. I also wasn't really excited about our.
Well, that's
early
because you
blurb
weren't
special.
getting one.
Well, it wasn't enticing me enough to sign up early to get one. Future Booster didn't.
What?
Now, who's getting? Somebody's getting a cool. Was France getting? France is getting a dope one.
Yeah, Francis.
I forget which one.
I'm trying to think of.
Oh no, maybe it wasn't France.
Neutron Shark is Brazil.
Yeah, who's getting the discard? Why am I drawing a complete blank on what it is?
I don't know because I haven't been paying attention to these, so I don't know.
I don't even remember.
France is rocking with the Rose of Sharon. That was
Here it is. Yes. Maybe it wasn't a discard. Italy is getting one of the cooler arts.
still gonna keep.
Which is
I forget which art this one. It's all the Revenants.
Italy is getting Levy of Souls.
Levy of Souls. Thank you. There it is. Yeah, it's all the Revenants together. So who's going to Italy? You guys are all going to Vietnam. Did Vietnam get there? Did they say what their early blurb special is going to be yet?
Yeah, it's Quelf the Quiet.
Oh, Quelf the Quiet.
Probably.
Yeah, that's right. That one's not very.
I feel like you're evaluating art based on card strength.
No, I think Levy the Souls is very good artwork. Like Future Booster doesn't do it for me. Like the whatever that gizmo is that's in front of the dude on his arm, it doesn't do it for me. Neither does the Fire Kitty Wing girl. Was she on our top? Was she one of the ones that we put in the thirst traps?
Certainly.
What's her name?
Mercy Milken.
Mercy.
Mercy.
Yeah, I'd have to check
Other
the.
episode there.
I'd have to check the database, but I think she's in there. Yeah.
Stay tuned for that episode. Top 10 KeyForge thirst traps. We'll do that one eventually. We might have to do that one on a Patreon episode. I'm not sure.
That episode's definitely pants optional.
Oh, man.
And you wonder what we do with the car ride down. So, Thursday night, we gathered the folks up, got everybody piled all in the walkmobile, starting with me, then grabbing a danger boat. I don't even remember who we grabbed after that. Who did we grab after that? Perfect. And then finally, a Pete and a Sheep to head all the way down in a 6-hour tour of St. Louis.
It was a lot longer than 6 hours picking everyone up.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think it was from Pete onward. It was 6 on Pete and Sheep onward 6, right?
No, it was actually 550 from our spot, but with all the stops, it came to 7 on the way down, and it came to 8.5 on the way back.
Well, that's because you guys had to have roadside beers.
There were some roadside beers.
You have to.
I think Sheep was drunk by the time we got to Panda Express, but we'll talk about that on the way back. Driving in, we really didn't do anything special. We just ended up going to we went to Culver's.
We went to Culver's and we were focused. It was great. Culver's was quick in and out. No, we were literally. There were no side stops. Nobody going and taking a whizzer break. And
I had to take a whizzer break, but Sheep wouldn't let me.
Nope.
About 30 minutes. About 30 minutes out from the Airbnb, I'm like, I gotta pee, and Sheep's like, no, hold it, and I did. All the way.
I made the right decision.
Yep, and then I immediately peed when we got there, and it hurt. Pretty cool Airbnb, though. Lots of rooms, lots of space. Nice and open. Somewhere, I don't know where we really were in St. Louis.
A couple minutes from downtown.
Yeah,
on the southwest side. It was a beautiful area close to the park that you could go run in the morning. There were some local shops, too, so it's a neat area.
So, anything else to say about day one that I'm missing?
No, we made it. It was great.
We made it.
Good time.
It was long. For some reason,
I'm curious.
Ewok's seats in the back are really low to the ground.
I'm curious how bedmates were chosen. I think I just grabbed Perfect and said, "Hey, you're with me."
I think it was at random. No, didn't we spin a wheel?
There was a wheel?
No, we all tried to avoid you, Wookie.
Oh,
That was how the game was played. Like, who has to have the chainsaw?
So
we told you wheels. You wouldn't feel bad.
So you gave the new guy me?
Actually,
early on it was Dexter, and Dexter adamantly fought not to have you, and I think that was really the difference on the weekend, to be honest. So instead, Dexter ended up with me. He had snuggle time, and man, that just turned out to greatness. I thought you and Sheep were
together for some reason.
Nope. And then Danger Boat went ahead and said, "Hey, my dad really snores, so I'm totally fine with this." And we're like, "Really? Are you sure?" And he's like, "Yeah, not a problem at all." And he took it like a champ, man. He did not complain. I mean, you were...
Because I wasn't even in the room with him.
Yeah, you were in random other spots throughout the house, but hey, it worked.
Where I fits, I sits. That's kind of... That couch was mighty comfortable. Again, really low to the ground.
Where you sits is where you sleep. That's really...
Where I sit is where I will be passing out. Eventually.
What do you mean? Within 10 minutes on the ride home, and you were passed out again there, too. And you're up in the front seat. Boo.
Yeah, right. Well, that's why me and Pete switched.
That's why I had to stop on the way back. Anyway, Friday.
It was a good stop. We switched.
We picked bedmates. It worked out well for Dexter. He did not end up with you. He got sleep, and he rocked it. So,
starting out Friday, we started our sealed.
We did get breakfast.
Oh, yeah. Where did we go? What was that place called? Breakfast.
No, I went to the really bougie, expensive place.
Very bougie. Very expensive.
$8.50 mini juices. It was... Draz would have been proud of us.
Draz would have been proud. I still would like to know how much that mini glass of chocolate milk costs Perfect. We also found out that Mr. Perfect is a proverbial child. What did he order?
Yeah.
He ordered chocolate milk. I forget what else
Chocolate
he
chip
ordered.
pancakes?
That I'm just like, yep, you're a child. I think he ordered a plain hamburger at the one restaurant too. It's just like you are like 4.
That's great.
But we start off with sealed, as all good vault tours do. Boys, how are your pods?
Playable.
Okay, playable. Pete,
Mine were playable. I went 2-1. I lost to Dexter. I didn't know he was going to win the whole thing.
spoilers. God.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I looked at I didn't think my pods were going to make the cut. And looking back, maybe they were better
Man,
than
2-1. You should have wrote it out. I didn't know you were 2-1. You should have wrote it out.
I just really wanted to play that Sealed Survival.
Sheep, how are your pods?
Extra poopy.
Oh, yeah. Tell us about the 3 decks you pulled.
Yeah, I opened 3 decks, and they all had Ouroboros, Mars, and Unfathomable. All 3 decks.
Hey, you had choices.
Only 27 of them, right? So it made my life easy. How would I like to lose? Then I went and won some games. But then I played Danger Boat, who got some decent cards, and he 3-1'd me with a pity key and made me feel real pathetic, and then I too dropped at what could have been 2-1 to go play something else because I knew I wasn't making it.
Did you end up in Sealed Survival too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I can't believe it. I went 2-2 and went straight to Sealed Survival, which was a true survival. Well, my decks, my pods were poo-poo.
Well, I started
poo-poo caca.
Yeah, I started 2-0. I beat Captain Crispy and then Flaming Hobo. Crispy was pretty close. Flaming Hobo was like, I don't know how I got here. And yeah, I 3-0'd him. I agree, his deck was not there. And sometimes you have it, sometimes you don't. I saw my decks, Unfathomable Geistoid immediately jumped out at me. And then I went Skyborn. And even though Skyborn still shows up as not my top pod, I really liked it. Had triple jump start, double cold ropes, and against all flags. And so I really leaned into the being overwhelmed, and then it just allowed me to do fun shenanigan things. But with Skyborn, Geistoid, and Unfathomable, and not really having more than one against all flags, I had very, very little C, and I had very, very, very little Amber control.
I can't tell if
that was fun.
I can't tell if C eludes you or it's just like you're hyper focused on it.
I think that creature control in this set is really critical.
It's pretty important.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what.
I mean, I originally started out with a fish Geistoid Ouroboros deck. To then decide to, these dragons are really bad. Because my other pods were also I had 4 Geistoid I had 2 Geistoid, 2 fish. I had 1 really bad Shadows pod that literally had none of the Shadows cards you want in them.
Ooh, I will tap you there. I did have a Shadows pod, but it had double routine job and caught you napping, and then everything else. It had triple Grammy taps. That's where it went.
I had double Grammy taps,
like,
the disco ball grenade that doesn't do anything. I can't even remember. I think I had a whistle. Is it whistling darts? Whistling stars, whatever it is, deal damage to 3 creatures, gain a number for each one destroyed this
stars.
way. Yeah,
it's throwing
stars, whatever. There's another one that deals 1 damage to all creatures.
That's not set.
I get those 2 confused a lot. Just nothing in there, and here's where I got nervous. Is I'm making my deck right, and I'm like, oh, Ewok's always talking about C. I better have some kind of critters in this deck because I didn't have any in the other two. And I'm like, I should put something with creatures in it. Just maybe have a few big meaties floating around. And that's what I went with Ouroboros. Boy, was that a mistake.
Yeah, if you don't have play effects, you're basically trying to outboard and win off of that. And there's just a number of creatures. Yeah, there's just a number of creatures in Ouroboros that you're not going to do it. I hate to say this, but Rhea Bevy Gress is just like, thank you, no thank you.
I appreciate
there's just a couple items like that. I will say that in game number 3 against Speed Paste, I changed out my pod because my only C that had in all 9 pods was Viscount of Ares. Like, while your yellow key is forged, each enemy creature under play stun, and play if your yellow key is forged, stun each enemy creature. True story, I lost that game, so that was not the call. One, it was buried and it came very late. It did actually do damage when it hit because I had forged the yellow key, but it's too slow and not good enough. So I lost Speed Pace. Round 4, I placed Dom Fam. I went back to the pods I knew. And then round 5, I played Mickey, and I lost pretty hard versus Mickey. So now you're in that kind of 3-2 slot. So you're really needing to win and hope to fall in as one of the 4 too. Yeah.
Yeah.
For Miggy, he had returned to Rubble when Thing from the Deep came out. So that was really my Amber control. Super cool plays in that I could actually play my Thing from the Deep and then be able to use it with Jumpstart on a Skyborn turn in a future turn. So there was some odd things that people missed. Thing from the Deep actually was multiple games. It sold 6 and sold 8. So it did work. It did work even in the top 8 game when I faced off against Dexter. But if you go ahead and blow it up right away, which is what Miggy did, that was real sad. So I don't know. It was fun. I did mess up. You talked about Pyrotechnic. Miggy was the first person to actually pull off Pyrotechnic against me. So shout out to him. Mostly because I was an idiot. And I had Miggy hit Pyrotechnic on Mamet, Spontaneous Hammer Smite, which I'd stolen, and then Mamet. So I had double Mamet. And instead of just putting it over on the other side, I put my Mamet. Then I went ahead and Spontaneous awakened his Hammer Smite and then put the other Mamet. Locating your creatures actually matters in this game. So that was fun, but it made me laugh. Like, all right, how often is that going to happen that you're going to have it stoled against you? In Sealed once and then in Draft twice. You can lean in with some of the damage pips and capture pips to help for that, but it was pretty cool.
Got it.
So I faced off Comrade Bubba in round 6 then, and I actually took him down 3-0. And I don't know about you guys. What did you think of the new app that was being used?
Go ahead, Pete. What'd you think?
Oh, I just think it's awesome. You could click on your opponent and it takes you right to the vault to see their deck. And it looks nicer.
The old app did that too.
Did it really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
you can go to the master vault by clicking on their deck in the app.
What I liked about it is that I could actually click on the event, and because we are not playing 2LO, but we're playing Swiss, as I finished, and I was 4-2 now after round 6, there were a couple of us that were actually cheering on. So in the group of 4 that I was by, both myself and someone else were actually cheering on Mickey for him to be able to win. So if Miggy wins, then our strength of schedule is better. He finishes at one of the 5-1 spots, and that was better for us. True story, he did not win, and so we saw that kind of go down. But you could actually see where the ranking was. So as we were finishing that round 6, there was probably 8 to 10 of us that were all around kind of watching as our names went up or down, and we could see who was still left and playing and how that was scanning. So I actually really liked that aspect for play style. You had a reason to be able to cheer on someone else who may not have been a teammate or just a random person that was there. But it was pretty cool to actually see it in live time. And you're like, oh, where am I going to go? Am I up? Am I down? Oh, okay, we're going. Well, I make the cut because you could see where 9 was. Well, but you could see where 9 was. And so we knew ahead of time that the cut was actually going to be there were going to be a couple people in 4-2 that made it. But that number was actually going to be potentially a little bit higher because a number of the people who were playing up, so they had lost, but when they played up, they ended up winning, and it happened multiple times in sealed, and so that actually helped a number of us out. But it was pretty cool to watch in real time and to kind of watch people playing. I did, with the deck that I put together, well, I did not have Amber control or creature control. I did have 19 printed Amber, and I also had, again, that triple jump start, which really did a lot of work in that Skyborn pod. And so just really pushing Amber and seeing, okay, what does everyone have to pull me off? I either won gloriously quick or I lost pretty quickly, too.
In a blaze of fire. Did anybody make top 8? Did you make top 8?
I did make top 8. So 4-2, I was actually seated in the number 7 position. So Miggy lost. He was the top 4-2. I was the second top 4-2. So I only lost to Miggy and Speed Pace, who were both in. And then our boy Chimera actually, unfortunately, fell as the number 9 slot. He was hit with that first out of the top 8.
His weekend was just fine.
It was.
Don't you cry for him. Yeah, Chimera did very well this weekend too. I ended up bouncing at 2-2. I guess I could battle it out, but at round 4, already having 2 losses, I was like, "Yep." Just didn't have the stuff, as they say. It was very disappointing to go, "Oh, shadows," and then cracking it and being like, "Oh no." There's nothing in here. Why is there nothing in here?
Don't feel bad for you. At least you had one of the houses you want.
I mean, fair. I felt bad for you going, "Oh shit." No, knowing you had 3 of the same houses, that's not a fun experience. So the new
Mars is real bad.
They are.
It can do some things, but you need a very focused grouping of cards, and for the most part, that's not what the commons are going ahead and showing up most of the time.
I did have the interesting fact that each one of my decks did have a gigantic. Don't know if that's what you want, but each one of them.
You were the pod that had 3 gigantics, and you did not play them.
I did not play a single gigantic. No. Should I have played?
Wookie made good decisions this weekend.
I was gonna say, should I have played? What is it? Zomsk, the Skyborn gigantic, who doesn't really do anything.
He shows up in the finals.
That's the final is the dragon.
Oh, you said which one?
It's the Skyborn.
Skyborn one.
Oh yeah, no, that one's pretty bad.
I did have the Ouroboros giant as well. Do they have 2 giants? Ouroboros? Nobody knows.
That requires
just the one.
Look. Yeah,
just the one. Okay, because I was like, I don't remember looking, but his giant looked different from my giant. But it's okay. But yeah, I had a giant in each one of mine, so it was fun. The only giant that I would have even considered playing is possibly the Ouroboros one, because it did have that scaling
the fish
keys
one.
cost +2. I didn't get the fish one. Yeah. The fish one is the one I did not get. There was a scaling your opponent's keys cost +2.
Yeah, Kulsha is 15 power. Ouroboros, play only with the other half. Your opponent's keys cost +2 for each forged key they have. After fight, after reap, exhaust up to 3 creatures.
Which doesn't matter when your opponent has Hannibal's Mark.
Yeah.
We'll get to that in a little bit. But yeah, neither height nor hair. It was fine. I was more than happy to go play Sealed Survival, which was not Sealed Survival, but is Sealed Survival. Because Sealed Survival went 5 rounds, and that was it. Didn't matter where you were, you got 5 rounds in Sealed Survival, and that was it. So if I would have known that going in, I might have played I might have chose my decks a little differently, because I am one to choose. I am going to play my worst deck first and see if I can get a few wins out of it. If I can, great. If I cannot, well, let's move on, But was what it was. I'm not gonna cry over spilt milk there. Just know that anything that says survival on it, just know that your side events are only gonna go 5 rounds. There you go. That sounds about right.
Well, it does mean it is actually back to 2LO.
This is true for side events.
Yes.
For nothing else.
Well, for side event survival.
Right. But also know,
assuming it's 2 deck.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of assumptions going on here.
This is true. But also know, one thing I want to note is kind of when we talked about it earlier, I guess, is the fact that we were all like, oh, well, basically, like, if you have 2 losses, maybe go find something else to do. Not quite the case in the main event. You can't. There was how many 4-2s made it? 3.
So looking at this, I believe it was 3. I took the shot, because Speed Paste was actually seeded 1 at 5-1. Unfathomable was 5-1. Mammon DG 5-1. Doug Tater at 5-1, and then it was Jace at 5-1, Miggy at 4-2, myself, Ewok at 4-2, Hassane at 4-2. So there were 3 of us at 4-2.
So that's kind of the one thing I did want to kind of highlight for everybody. Like, if you are into those later rounds, and you are in that 3-1, 3-2, know that you still are in it. We had, 50 people for sealed?
Yeah, so there were 48 players for sealed. So I will say it does matter where you go ahead and lose. So if you lose in your first round, unless it's
discussing Swiss.
No, but like that has a big impact.
It does. I mean, again, I was like, oh, I'm 2 losses. Like, my losses did come early. But, like, if you are getting losses in the later rounds, don't just feel like you're out and maybe go play, sealed or whatever. Stick around. You do have an opportunity to get in the top 8, right? So it's just one thing I wanted to highlight because it is, going back to Swiss is kind of a big change for a lot, we've been 2LO for what, 3 years? 4 years? A number of years. So just know that, you have the opportunity to still make a top 8. So, but Sealed Survival is not Sealed Survival. It is what it is. I did pull a little bit of gas in my second deck, so I was like, I like this. And then I learned that I should have just started with it. Oh well. No, you'll only be doing 5
I
rounds.
opened 1 VM26, 1 Amber Skies. Chose to start with the Amber Skies deck, which does not Amber Skies so far does not stand up to VM26 at all on a open sealed kind of.
Yep.
Keep getting annihilated.
Yep.
Pete, did you play in the sealed survival as well?
I did. I opened Talk, and my decks were not very good. I went 1 and 2.
Okay. There were a total of 17 players that showed up. Our local Mr. Perfect did take it, but I will shout out to him for going ahead and taking it. It was a little bit odd in that because you had multiple people who were still alive after the 5 rounds, that the tiebreakers decided who won. So shout out.
Yeah, weird how that works. How the tiebreakers decide. Never mind. I'm not salty. I'm salty. I'm so salty. I was just like, this isn't survival. Call it anything but survival, but
I think the only
survival.
other... Yeah, it was survival. I think the only other...
it's survival just like it was in the other one. It didn't matter outside of losing twice. And then you go to top 8 and you had to go down to 1 deck anyways.
I think the only thing that was missed is that I would have put sealed on Saturday so that you basically would have a chance to play sealed on Friday and then sealed on Saturday if you were out. But that's the only difference that I would have made. I wouldn't have put all of sealed on Friday.
Well, also the opportunity to jump into the side event happened after round 3 on Friday, whereas Saturday was after round 4. So I think you're mistaken. You were
Yes.
Yeah.
I was mistaken at what?
You said you went 2-2 before you jumped into the side event, but there was only 3 rounds on Friday before the side event began.
Friday was an hour later.
So I felt like there was more pressure to get out if you wanted to.
I thought it was 2-2. I have to.
No, that was Saturday.
Yeah. Okay. Well, either way, whatever. My decks were, like Sheep said. Sheep didn't say it. I said it. Dudu Kaka, and I was not having fun playing the pods I was provided, so I was out.
Speaking of pods, I will say that when we on round number 6, anyone who was already 5-0, there's real reason to try out your other pods. So shout out to Unfathomable for actually trying out a different pod. I know he ended up going 5-1, but like that's the time where you know that at 5-0 you're going to go ahead and make it into top 8. And so that is the time.
Don't you steal?
That is the time if you think you have a pod.
Greatly today, and this whole like 2 6-0s are playing each other in the last round for seed position only.
Yep.
Like it felt so dumb. You're kind of playing for nothing. Is what it feels like.
Versus just sitting.
No, versus it. Well, 2-0, you go do something else.
Yep.
I don't know. Like that
10-player cut with 2 of them getting a bye.
Well, yeah, because like at the 2LO portion of it.
No,
right?
I want classic 2LO. I liked 2LO. I didn't want Swiss.
How would the 6-0s match in 2LO?
Because the XOs are qualified at 4-0.
Yeah.
They don't get to 6-0 and have to play. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I hear,
or messes with tiebreakers in some silly way because they're like they don't need to win.
Yeah, they don't need to win. It's
they have this like position where if somebody they beat earlier they don't want to see again, they can pitch their round to try to weaken their tiebreakers.
I will still.
Would that be collusion? No. Okay. Go ahead.
Only if you agree with another player to do it for some reason. If you just choose to do it on your own, it's strategy.
I will go ahead.
One of my Master Vault decks has. Oh, I think this is somebody else's Master Vault deck.
Yeah.
Oops.
I will say that the 4-2 Swiss did allow 3 of us in for the top 8, and out of those 3. It was meaningful because Sasame actually was runner-up and qualified for Worlds as a result. So he was one of the 4. He was one of the 4-2s, and so it actually really, really matters. The other 2, both Miggy and myself, finished top 8. So you could argue against that, but again, I ended up facing off against Unfathomable, who took it overall, and he had
there still would have been a top cut with 8 players. So. Whether they're 4-2s or we end a round earlier and then there's a play-in.
Yeah. Well, Friday night
I said, don't care for the Swiss.
Yeah, Friday night we did go ahead and play top 8.
We played the first round of top 8.
We did play that's our top 8 round for sealed. Out of seeding, because Unfathomable did try out his other pod, it was not as good. He lost, and so. My roommates for the night, I ended up facing. He was seated 2, I was seated 7. We played, and he got the better of me. And he had definitely a much better deck, as you could see for the rest of the weekend. I did actually put some pressure, though, which made me feel good after he took down Sealed, because that game went 3-2. But his Hannibal's Mark did not come out in our game at all. That would have really been a problem for my Thing from the Deep. But Thing from the Deep with a little bit of pressure coming from Jumpstart was there. It was something.
Yeah, Jumpstart and Hannibal's Mark. Oh, those are very real cards.
Well, he had double TMTP. He had Hannibal's Mark. There were a lot of really good cards.
He also, I believe, he also had Routine Job. I think he only had a
one
double
copy of Ember Purse as well. Yeah, he had lots of good cards.
Yeah, he had good stuff.
The 2 Ember Purse actually was what killed me in the end. So in Sealed, I really debated about tossing my Skyborn. The only thing that was kind of keeping me alive was the silly 1 Amber Steel off of Deep Blue Bryn. And so I had kept that, but I had brought out 2 others. And I actually paused. I talked to him. I'm like, I think I need to toss this under the chance that I'm going to get hit for the steal off a purse. And he just smiled at me. And it was about 2 turns later, it hit. And I'm like, yep. I ended up managing to steal 3 off of it. So I was fine in that it was the same amount of amber. But that was the final blow that really took me out in the top 8.
You mentioned him smiling at you. I'll say 2 of my 3 losses in the main events came to Dexter. He has a great time when he's kicking your ass. He's always smiling. He's laughing. It just makes it all feel a little bit better. So I appreciate that. Thank you, Dexter.
Thank you for kicking our ass, Dexter.
I cackle like a maniac.
We know.
Or you went quiet too. I will say that.
That is option 2.
That was Sealed and Sealed Survival. So
yep, moving into Saturday, we got Archon and Alliance, which there was a lot of jockeying going on there. Didn't know who was going where, what was happening. Trouble in Paradise for Chimera, which actually ended up in his favor. I ended up going Archon. I think we all went Archon, right? Nobody here went Alliance?
Just Chimera.
Yeah, just Chimera, which I should have gone Alliance, but I didn't. It happened.
We're just going to skip
over.
over.
Don't listen to me.
Yeah, I should have listened to it.
Well, so you talk about that, but
what do we do? That was
we drew wieners.
Oh,
we drew wieners.
Telestrations? Yeah.
We did.
Playing telestrations with Dexter is incredibly difficult.
Well, I would rather deal with Dexter than Mr. Perfect's drawings.
I don't think I ever sat beside him to get any of his drawings, so I don't know how. I know at one point you moved. I don't remember who it was. You're like, I can't be next to you.
No, they were bad.
Yeah. But yes, a bunch of dudes drew penises and drank alcohol.
We also raced some mascot.
Yeah.
That was on Saturday night.
Yeah.
Nope. I don't know what night that was. Was that?
That was
Saturday.
That was Saturday night?
No, Saturday.
We were ultimately very tame. We went back to our Airbnb and then proceeded to
play board games.
Not drink much of Kyle's beer.
Yeah.
We had really good barbecue, though.
We did order pretty good barbecue. Yeah.
Yep.
It was a good time, but we were just very tame.
Yeah. We were not as wild as we normally are. So this is what happens when we don't have a Draz core.
Yeah,
we're just tame. We're just lame. Or Sydney, yeah.
We had no bad influences, and we were boring.
Yeah. I'll do better next time, I promise. Because Saturday night we go into Archon and Alliance, or Saturday morning. Boys, how did we fare? Sheep.
I had the lovely effect to be able to see sheep in round 1, so that was amazing.
Yeah, round 1, and I'm not saying
rigged.
I'm not saying that there is a conspiracy. But there was a damn conspiracy. That was the biggest pile of bullshit I have ever seen in my life. What was it?
Of the 10 people that stayed in our house.
Yep.
9 of them were playing.
Paired up round 1.
Yeah,
Yes.
9 of them were in Archon, 6 were paired up. But that's
Yes.
out of 40.
Right.
You're gonna have some. You're gonna have some.
You're gonna have
that are
some, not every single one. Round 1, I got paired up with
Wasn't
Perfect.
every single one.
You got paired up with Sheep. Pete, you went up against Dexter, right?
Yes, sir.
I think Danger Boat was the only one who didn't get paired up with somebody in the house.
He played AOA.
Did he
No.
really?
And
Yeah, he did.
lost.
Yeah.
No, Boat played. He was either between Amber Skies and DM, and he went with
DM.
DM.
No. He played against.
He played
AOA.
against AOA. And
Oh, he
lost.
played
was
against
right next-
AOA?
Yeah, he,
There was an
he was
AOA
right
in the
next
field?
to. There was AOA in the field. It was Sheep and I. It was right next to us. He learned a lesson off of AOA, so it is something.
Yeah, Marty, take cover. Oh, he's gone. Good. He says he's dealing with a tornado. But yeah, take cover.
Yeah, we.
I was fearful we were going to have one tonight with all the rain and stuff going on.
There was one down by Sheep.
Was there?
Racine Canoe. Yeah, Racine Canoe.
20 miles away.
Yeah, crazy weather Wisconsin's having again. Craziness. But yeah, I'm not saying
No, the lesson that was learned was in regards to Soul Snatcher. So that's your dis artifact. Each time a creature is destroyed, its owner gains 1. Our good boy Danger was going ahead and playing DM. His DM deck had Old Switcheroo, and it was basically switching after capturing some amber. How they had played it is that the actual person who controlled the disc pod with Soul Snatcher was gaining the amber for the creature that was destroyed because it was on his side. Oh. But it says its owner gains 1, so it actually should have gone to Danger Boat. It was
also
after
fun
the fact.
fact. I forgot.
It's
about this.
it's a very easy thing to miss, but
They were awarding it to the controller instead of the owner. I don't think it was as drastic as
correct. So
it could be a big
controlling it
difference.
at the time? Yes.
Could be a big difference. Also, I managed to get our boy Perfect on stream round 1. For him to never.
Is that when he got his warning?
He got his warning with me in Archon on day 2 because he wasn't fully completing his effects before moving on, and I had to keep telling him you need to complete your effect, and then Dead Sync was just there, and he's
Did you explain to them why you wanted him on the stream? And they still did it?
I didn't. I just
Okay, fair enough.
I asked nicely and I batted my eyes. But the problem is that he had a stupid Memrox deck, so he never had to use any of his tokens.
Ah, son of a...
So it didn't even go on. The game was over in 6 minutes, and he never had to use any of his other tokens besides Ember.
Yeah, sealed. He just put Memrox and all our Mars, so he was getting 2 off of it.
I was so deflated after that. But yeah, that was that. Back to Saturday. Yeah, Saturday I got. I don't want to say I got him one, but he said he calmed down after that and started paying closer attention. We'll see if that rolls over. Not really 100% sure if it will or won't, but we'll find out. Thanks to Dead Sync for serving him a warning. Appreciate it.
He did. Mr. Perfect did go on to win Sealed Survival.
Yep.
Yes.
Cover that?
Yep. We said that.
Okay.
Thanks for joining in.
Yeah.
Yeah, he took the Sealed Survival and
At
hint,
4-1.
At 4-1, he also ends up taking one of the pack drafts later on too. So
Oh yeah, draft. Yeah.
yeah, our locals, they're pretty hot. Cheap, how did you feel about being matched up with me in round 1? For
I
Archon?
was not looking forward to that match at all.
There you go.
But it was the start of what was very consistent all weekend, which was you're not playing creatures.
Yep.
There was so much Tranks Creed and Cryptic Collapse in this field. Just quit playing creatures. And then
So
fun.
they can't take all your amber.
So I went back and forth, and actually, even just moments before the Archon event went off, I still hadn't picked my deck and committed. That's a note to yourself. you'll do better if you actually pick a deck and just practice it and go with it. I knew Splinterbeck well. Splinterbeck not well enough, I will say, but it's PV. Logos, Sanctum, Shadows. It did have Tranks. You also knew it because it was originally your deck. But I felt that you had control right from the beginning, and it just kept going. I could not really draw and get anything rolling in this deck, which was a little bit odd, but it is what it is.
Yeah, you definitely never got any traction.
Nope. A little bit on my part with the Shadows early on. I had Sanctum early on, and I kind of stayed in that was probably an extra turn or two that I didn't need to. But I think it really came down to you had key cheated with your Battlefleet key abduction for key 1, which is a bummer because I had my hoodwink to do nothing then as you stole. So I had to kind of hold on to that a little bit. But it was when you went for key 2, you pushed to 9 amber. And I have 5 cards left, and I'm sitting with my IG. But IG is not in my hand. It is in the bottom 5 cards. So I immediately look, I'm going to Zerp and kill myself in order to draw 1. So we're down to 4 cards. I have 4 Seer that I'm going to play. I'm going to look, and I should have a 50-50 chance. And neither of them go ahead and hit. It was another Logos creature because all my Logos were buried at the bottom, which was not great. But I play both of them, and then I make a fatal decision, which you smiled at, and I have apparently learned.
Yep.
It was real bad because I actually had my out, boys and girls, and that was Rage Reset. But without thinking, I played it as a fate because randomly discard half of the cards from your hand, rounding down. Great. Except the play effect that's on Rage Reset. 1, it would have given me an amber, but the play effect says destroy any number of friendly creatures. I had 2 that I just played. Draw 1 card for each creature destroyed this way. There were only 2 cards left in deck, which meant IG was one of those cards. So there was no point in me having the Logos 2 creatures. It literally mattered nothing.
Oh man, I didn't realize you punted. When you told me you punted, I didn't realize you punted that hard.
I punted. And again, I think it's something that you just tune out. I was drawing really bad and I got frustrated. But yes, read your cards, play them out, look at it, because the 2 cards were there. And had I done that, there would have been 3 off of it, 4 for the amber that was there, and then 5 on the IG. So I should have been right back at check. But instead, that did not happen.
Yeah, you would have been at 2 keys, 5 amber, and I would have been at 1 key and not going for my next one. That would have definitely been a game changer.
No, that was IG because you were going to go ahead and forge the 2nd key off of it.
Yeah, I would have been at 1 key and not.
No, 2 keys.
Yeah.
2 keys.
Right, but 2 keys, but no extra amber.
No extra
so
amber.
Your 2 keys and 5 amber.
Yeah, and the difference here is that you pushed with that amber because of the 5. You had 2 keys and then 3 amber. You were able to go into your Mars turn and then key abduct just for the right amount. So yeah, that was, and again, hit both key abductions right in that amount. So you took out PV right away. So good job, my friend. Good job. But you were hot. You went 6-0 and just kept going through the field. I will argue the deck that you played in the second round was very similar. Basically, I think that's why some people are frustrated with PV.
Felt like a freaking mirror match, except it had felt like the exact same logo pod, but it had Cryptic's Collapse instead of instead of strengths. But otherwise it felt like I played the same game twice.
But I think that's some of the frustration. Well, but if you see a smaller card pool and you see some of the commons that are showing up as consistently powerful, very good cards, like this is part of the reason. Like I was really looking at trying to actually play my names DM deck, and the end decision was I didn't want to just go 2-2 and finish there. That was the honest choice. I'm like, hey, PV will play out better. I had 2 PV decks and the DM, but I narrowed it down to Splinterbeck and then DM. I think that the DM deck is more fun to play, but I'm like, it's just not as competitive. And yet it still was the same. So again, play what you want, have some fun with it. I then played our good buddy Danger Boat, and I felt bad. That was not a close game. Well, it was closer than needed to on DM because I couldn't draw again, but I did take it. And then game 3, I actually lost to DM and just got absolutely obliterated. So Abyssal Sight, getting rid of Trank's Greed and my Hoodwink and my IG, that's a thing. There's a lot of Abyssal Sight going around with DM. But
Abyssal
I was going to drop.
Very good card.
It is very, very good. But at that point, I was ready to drop because I have 2 losses in rounds 1 and 3. I'm not going to go ahead and make the top cut for 2. But because we were an hour later, everyone's like, well, just wait for the side event. So I played the last round. I finished 2-2. But again, even with PV, I still finished 2-2. So it would have been better just to play a deck that I wanted to play versus there.
Weird. My only losses were to PV.
Weird.
Yeah, both my losses in Archon come to PV. Yeah, they're things. I mean, Mr. Perfect did hit a nice. Wow, I'm drawing a total blank.
Whoa, lateral shift
on me. Yeah. If he does not pull the lateral shift at that exact moment, I go bananas at that point and just go crazy. I had enough in my hand to start the loop already. He pulled a Junk Restoration from my hand, and that's what would have gotten me haunted. And then I go into the looping, or as Pete likes to say, the watch me plays.
Yeah,
but
GR. Oh, boo hoo.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. He pulls that, and then I it was a downward spiral from there because I gotta shift, and it went not good. What do you want, Fish?
Yeah, who's this guy?
I was just invited to speak, so now I'm here.
Well, you were raising your hand.
No. Bro, the kid should get a chance to speak after his dominant weekend sealed in Archon.
Well,
I did pretty good.
His story goes all around, so let me get mine out of the way, and then we'll go over there. So, I lost to Dexter round 1, and he can elaborate on how that went. I did get a Parasitic Charge key off, which I was very excited about.
Yeah, that was cool.
That means you're losing, right? That's the way that works. And then
I think you got it for 2 amber.
Great. Yeah.
And then you didn't do anything else that game?
I love,
exactly.
I love how Pete's like, thank you for highlighting my
Dexter, you already won, man. Just let him have his spotlight here.
All right.
And then I think in Archon I played next a gentleman from Kalamazoo who I played 2 other times this weekend, and just a fantastic gentleman. You know, I tried talking to him about TCO. He'd never heard of it. So a newer player who hopefully is going to stick with the game and find out what all's out there for him. So that game I won. And then that was Amber Skies versus Amber Skies. And then round 3, I get another one of these wonderful PV decks as my opponent. And I'm looking the deck list over. I'm like, yeah, just more degenerate nonsense. And my opponent says, hey, I think we've played this matchup before. He goes, I played you on TCO, and then you went on Discord and you started talking about how you don't like PV. Mm-hmm. I'm like, yeah, that doesn't really narrow it down, guy. That's kind of what I do. So I apologize to him because he said he started during Store Champs, so he's a fairly new player too. So I tried to be as nice as possible, and he was nice despite the awful things he did to my deck. Just terrible stuff.
Show us where the bad man touched you, Pete.
All over. He touched me in my hand, my discard pile. Just really went through one end and out the other. No dignity left. So that's fun. Thanks, GG, for PV once again. Looking forward to your next.
This is why we call it HPV.
Oh, it's worse than that because I don't think HPV can kill you, but. This one's doing a number. Anyways, Dexter.
I don't know if PV can kill you either, but it's trying.
We'll see what the numbers look like as we go. All right. That's all I have to say on that. I'm looking forward to hearing Dexter's accounting of his glorious
Dexter,
rise.
did you make it in as one of the 4-2 slots, though, for Archon?
I did. Yes. So me and John both just barely scraped by in the 7th and 8th spot and went on to get 1st and 2nd.
Nice.
Yup. First round in Archon, I beat Pete. Second round, I went up against a pretty cool PV deck with the sample 42C card, that artifact that can get a free key. That one was fun. That game was pretty close, but I got
it. Had a Saurian pip on it?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, I went up against that deck. It crushed me.
Yeah, that was a solid deck for sure. I mean, PV's good. Then round 3, I lost to John Beaver right after playing him in a practice round. Like during the lunch break, we played in a practice round, and I won that match. And then in the actual Swiss pairings in round 3, he was able to beat me once he knew how my deck worked, and he just didn't play creatures. And that's how PV games go sometimes.
Just don't play.
Then round 4,
learned everything here, kids.
Whole weekend.
Just don't play creatures.
Don't play creatures. Then round 4 was against Tobin, and he was able to take me down. His deck was just doing all of its stuff. He got Tranks out twice for big money because I had good Logos board going and lots of archiving stuff. But he also had like 4 cards in his deck that just discarded all of my archives, so that didn't really help me all that much. So lost to Tobin in round 4. Round 5.
So, Tobin was on Habib, which is a really solid deck. So Tranks. I'm trying to think of what's discarding. So Digital Signal definitely jumps out. But
the Sanctum the Broken Intent, I think he had 2 of those.
There's one Broken Intent. Yeah, discard archives. Okay. Interesting.
It might have just been those.
He has the Vault Keeper in here, so the steal is actually impacted by Vault Keeper coming in. That's an old school card that you don't see too often. So 4 power, 1 armor, Night Spirit. Your Amber cannot be stolen.
I mean, that's what John did against Sheep in the top 8 match, right? Just slap down that Vault Keeper and you couldn't feel anything.
Killed me. Yep.
Yeah,
it was quite sad going 6-0 on day 1. And
got
then
shut down by a Vault Keeper, huh?
And then I get shut down by a Vault Keeper. So is life.
Well, one other thing we didn't talk about.
I played 4 PVs and Amber Skies and a Talk deck and Rainbow Wolf.
I also played a Talk deck round 6.
Yeah, so
there were a couple of good Talk decks with all them damn.
Yeah, for sure. There was a good.
I think they were all disc creatures.
And no, there was a Wrangler. I went up against a Wrangler in round 6. Yeah. It had Balanora, like with the Wrangler, and lots of red lines and against all flags. It was a really cool Talk deck.
Looking at the top 8 for Archon, you had 4 PV. You and John Beaver go ahead and come in right at 7 and 8. So 2 of you snuck in, then really take it. Olympio, Mammon play again. Mammon top forward in sealed and then top forward in Archon. You can see somebody there. Sheep, you had Coda. Dom Fam with his GR Donatus, which is a well-known deck and very, very solid. I believe isn't that what took Baltimore last year? If I'm correct.
I think you're correct.
No.
And then Rainbow Wolf actually on top with his Katina Fiend.
There's a couple.
So very interesting. Yeah, very interesting selection of decks. Speed Paste, I'll give another shout out to because he made top 8 in sealed and then also top forward for Archon. So you saw a couple different people showing up consistently, which is really, really nice.
I mean, there was
Speed Paste PV deck played a little bit different than everybody else's. It wasn't the same Trunks Creed stuff that I was doing.
It had a Cryptic Collapse, didn't it? Oh, no, it's just 3 Infernuses.
Yeah, this is Writer.
Infernuses value logos.
Yeah, Writer Conever Undo Flank. Double Gift of Amber, Remy's Horror. Embellish Imp, and then the Triple Infernus. Double
One
Unity
thing
Prism.
we didn't talk about, I'm not sure if you guys want to talk about it on a later episode or not.
You mentioned that there was a lot of Katina Fiend decks. Really, there was like 71 out of 72 Katina Fiend decks, if you think about it.
There was 2.
I think that's what you're about to allude to.
There were 2 Katina Fiend decks.
No, what I was
71 out of 72.
I don't understand. Is there a reference here? What am I missing?
It's okay. It's math. I'm sorry. I'm done.
No, I understand. But I'm not.
There's 72 decks. There's 72 cards when you have 2 decks, and then if there's a card missing, you have 71 out of 72.
Oh,
that's the ratio of Katina Fiend decks.
Speaking of cards missing, do we want to? We totally forgot about a missing card in.
It happened in a game for Sealed. It was very unfortunate.
Yes.
Well, we'll let them tell the story.
Yeah.
Who's
the only thing? Only real thing about that was the fact that we got just crushed with OTT this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Right, like everything went pretty well, but oh my gosh, the time between rounds this weekend felt excessive to me. Like
one of them definitely
the time
was
between pairings, the time before we started events. Like Josh, Orbital Tangent, was on a tear with his talking this weekend, and maybe I think half problem is I've been to so many of these that I don't need any of the words anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But man, there were a lot of words before we got to play any games.
I mean, one of the big, I guess, breaks was during day 2, somebody, I forget who was the guy who bought all the pizza. He also does the stuff for the...
It was Alex for
Alex,
the local...
Super tall bird.
Yes, super tall bird.
He made the trophy that I won for Archon.
Yep. Pizza was brought in, so none of us had to go out for lunch.
Which was really nice.
Yeah, that was super nice.
Yes, but then it also made that hour-long break feel forever. Because
it made it feel really long, right?
It really did make it feel long. I agree. It was weird.
But it was very nice.
It's a good thing to not have to go driving somewhere.
Right. Or walk upstairs to Panera or whatever.
That was St. Louis Bread Company.
Sure.
It was also Panera Bread.
So I mean that definitely made it feel longer. Yeah. OTT this weekend was a little brutal. Like I said, I don't know if it's just because we've been. I mean, I don't know. There was a lot of new faces. Like one of the guys there was like, "Hey, I started playing on Thursday, like the Thursday before the Vault Tour," and his friend showed him the game, and he showed up to a Vault Tour.
Which is great. We love to see that.
Yeah,
were you guys surprised to see 50 players there?
Shocked. I absolutely floored. I really thought we would be right around the same numbers as a Roseville, maybe a little higher with some of the locals, because St. Louis is a tough place, it seems like, to get into and out of.
I agree with that statement, and I was very happy to see 50. I'd actually heard 52, but what's listed on Archon Arcana is basically 40 for Archon and 10 for Alliance. So
right.
Maybe the 52 was people who had signed up total.
Signed up and then switched or something.
Yeah, there were definitely some people who didn't, because Josh was announcing names at one point, asking if they were there, because they'd registered but didn't
sign in. Right.
Yeah.
So I really thought it was going to be very much that. And then when it wasn't, I was like, oh, hey, maybe this is a good spot to have things, I guess. So it is, it is what it is. So moving forward, some of us went and played Oubliette. Definitely thanks to Kyle for bringing a pile of Ember Skies decks, because that's all you could play in Oubliette.
It did say this. I thought it was very clear. So
yeah, it did say what?
Yeah, everybody's talking about that. Who won that Oubliette event?
I don't.
Chimera.
Oh, Chimera
Kyle did.
The guy loaning out all the questionable decks, eh?
Oh,
No.
I think he was running a scam.
We don't ask how the resealing glue is made. We just use it. I mean,
I found it interesting that a couple of the people I played, I looked for what houses would not overlap and that would make a good section. I gave you Wookiee 2 decks.
Yeah.
I had brought in 2 decks.
There were definitely some people who were ready for this event.
Yes.
Like you
I gave
and
you a logo
were not
span.
ready.
What do you mean? I gave you a logo span and I had a Geistoid ban. I thought that was perfectly fine.
Should have taken the Geistoid ban because, man, that atomic destabilizer. Oh, that thing's just a house.
It's a good card.
It's just a house.
I actually faced the first 3 rounds was all Geistoid bans, so we were allowed to choose between both of the decks.
We're happy to report Oubliette did its thing. Round 1, I believe there were 2 losses because their ban house was in both decks.
Yeah, there were a couple people who had doubled up and just chanced it, and that kind of bit them. But there were also some individuals who had some really, really strong decks. I know Chimera played, was it the first 4 rounds out of the 5, had played the same deck, and his ban was Geistoid. So this was 101 SAS Amber Skies deck, pretty solid Arcanometer with a Skyborn Pip, double redline rotation, Talent Scout, some security details. So there was against all flags. This had some spice, but you saw some people who brought some very, 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 very strong decks. And then Chimera did have to go ahead and win in the last round with his other deck. So I thought the event was fine. Wookie, I know you didn't necessarily enjoy it as much, but
number one, I'm not a huge fan of Ember Skies to begin with. So being forced to play a set that I don't necessarily enjoy, kind of a bummer, but it's really in the end a nothing burger. I had a great time all weekend. I played lots of KeyForge. I will say, I mean, I guess not going into final thoughts, but kind of like there was always something to do, right? You even if you were out of the main event and you're into side events, like I know some people took it rough, but not everybody did. And to be honest with you, like it was like, oh, I'm just gonna shuffle over into this event, or I'm gonna shuffle over into that event. Mm-hmm. You were always able to play, right? Like you were never out, and you were playing for something. Like the addition of the dump a pack in or whatever. Draconian measures pack in, like it made it feel like there were stakes involved instead of just, then I'm gonna say it, dumb raffle tickets, right? I don't ever win shit in them raffles, right? Like I probably still got them in my wallet because that's how little they mattered to me because I didn't win anything. But you were always able to, I ended up 2 decks up for the weekend, with just how I now have 3 Draconian measures decks I don't care about. So. And one extra Vault Master 26. So, I mean, you were always doing something. You were always able to play. Like you never were like out of just like, oh, well, I'm here now. Now what do I do? Which I do feel like in previous Vault tours, that's kind of like you were out of the main event. It's like, well, you could play Second Ember, and you're like, oh, I could, or I could go literally do anything else. I will
say in Oubliette, boys, I got some maximum KeyForge time. I really enjoyed it.
You did.
Well, I was playing a super fast deck, and so the first 4 rounds, we actually played both of the decks. I played 8 games in those 4 rounds, and the only reason we didn't do it in the final round is I played someone who was another teacher, and we just talked after playing that bit. But it was really nice to be able to play KeyForge and to be able to jam games, even if it was something different. And because PV was seen in Archon, I mean, yes, I could have played further. I could have hoped to be able to miss the cut. I just looked and said, I really was done with playing PV, and I think a couple people were. So I look forward to being able to play Ember Skies. I enjoyed that experience. I will argue Oubliette again was a little bit on OTT time, and it struggled with
again.
There was a comment.
It wasn't necessarily like It was the fact that you were like, oh, you have to go Ember Skies. That's all you're allowed to play is Ember Skies. And it was kind of like, eh.
Well, but that was stated. I mean, the only thing that could be done
is that I understand it was stated. But it's, again, you got to understand that not everyone likes every one of your sets, GG. So, like, don't maybe restrict play. I mean, I guess I don't really know how else better to do it.
Well, but you can't do Oubliette with just open all sets because there's too many houses.
Maybe you get to ban 3 houses. I don't know.
Yeah, that's not how it was set up. But
right,
I will say, the one thing that could have been done is announce the events earlier so that people could plan
instead of
more
5
than,
days previous.
Yeah.
Yeah, Josh got plenty of grief about that at the event.
Yeah.
So
he heard it. We're fine. The only other comment that really made my day was at the end of round 3. We were sitting here, we were waiting. And this was in part that one player had a deck that pushed to time consistently. And that was part of just the deck. So one of our judges came over and said, hey, remember, you got to stick around, guys. You got to get prizes, so don't leave early, because we had a number of people who started to leave. And we're like, it's round 3. Isn't this 5 rounds? We still have another 2 rounds. And you heard some scuffling under the breath, like, oh, we still got more. That's where the frustration comes in is, yes, we're all waiting. But part of that is this wasn't on an individual from GG. This was just on players that the games were going long because a deck that was brought really pushed right to time. And when that happens, it carries everyone is waiting.
It was a walk style deck.
It was something.
So. All right. We're going to kind of skip into Sunday where we get into the finals for Alliance and Archon. We will talk a little bit about draft, but I think we're going to do an episode on draft. Getting a little long in the tooth here.
I get a week off.
Yeah, you kind of do, because you decided to suck it up round 1 in the finals. Or in top 8.
Hey. Yeah, I mean,
still wouldn't have played draft even had I not.
That's wild.
I don't know about that.
I
thought it was a good time. Yeah.
We could talk about draft. We don't have to get into details, but we can kind of give our thoughts on it.
Looked really interesting to me. I would have done it if I could.
Finals come up.
The only side event I played in was Sealed Survival.
Yeah.
Well, I will say shout out on Sunday. We did have Keshavir going ahead and taking with PV Alliance winner, and Chimera going ahead, both qualifying for Worlds as the runner-up. So shout out. Snack Stop Forward and the Shengelia went ahead and threw together 3 decks that they did not play because they were not there for Sealed on Friday. So they threw DM 3 decks together and made it as top 4. So shout out
You
there.
barely made it, Dexter. But Dexter was your winner for Sealed. If we totally skipped past that, Dexter won Sealed.
Yep, Saturday night.
What was your thought when you were 3-0 in Sealed?
Thought about dropping to do the Sealed Survival.
Yep,
I don't
just
think
for a little
this is
bit.
good enough.
Your deck was ridiculous.
Yeah, your deck was pretty bonkers.
Masame both qualified for
It's
Sealed.
pretty
So shout out, I'll
good.
see you guys at Worlds. But yeah, your deck was real good, man. Real good.
I expected someone else's DM to turn out some good stuff, but turned out what I got, just steal a bunch of ambers. Pretty solid for Sealed DM.
Turns out the second place Alliance player might have given you a run for your money, so maybe you got lucky. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't even look at it. I'd have to ask Kyle. Well, there's Kyle. Let's just go ahead and there we go. Let's get everybody in here. Why
While
not?
you're doing that, shout out to our Archon top 8. So Unfathomable, you and Jet Bever going ahead and qualifying for Worlds with PV.
Yep.
Top 4, Speed Pace and Mammon. So PV and Amber Skies there.
So 3/4 of the top 4 was PV. Just saying.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then
Yeah.
top 8 was Tobinator, Dr. Sheep, Domfam, and Rainbow Wolf. So you did have Talk, GR, Coda, and PV and those other 4. So made top 8, but
All right,
difficult
Kyle,
to make
tell
it
us
further.
what in the world was
Happened with
in
Alliance.
the D. You went up against DM, right? In the finals?
No, it was PV for
Oh.
Alliance.
Yeah, see,
PV
was
is
okay.
alliance.
It was just like
Did you?
it was just
Did you get to play
145
against the
stats.
DM?
Like, I did not play against the DM. No,
Because I want to know what was in it.
I played against PV, and then I played against PV, and then I played against DT, and then it was triple PV then DT, and then that was the first 4 rounds, so I ended up going 2-2. And then in top 4, I played against the DT again, the Frog Legs Alliance that Sneck was playing. I did beat that, even though I lost to it in the qualifying rounds, but I did beat it in top 4. And then in the finals, I played against PV, which I played against in round 3 of qualification and lost 0-2. I didn't forge a single key in 3 games against that deck.
You had 2 amber at the end of that first game. It looked
Yeah, the first game I had 2. Actually, so the first game for the qualification, I might have had no amber. So yeah, I went from 0 to 2 to 5 over the course of 3 games. So slowly improving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wookie, you were asking what was in the PV Alliance.
Yeah, I'm in the
PV?
Arcana. I don't see it in here, but
Yeah, it's there. So it's double traumatic echo.
no. I wanted to know what was in the DM Alliance.
The DM.
He's here.
I don't
He
know.
made
I heard it was
That one I
just
don't know.
a lot of board based, and no one was
There's
bringing
not-
creature
but-
control, so it just got bored.
Yeah.
Did board stuff.
Yeah, actually, so you want to know the DM that was sealed that was put in?
Yeah, I want to know.
No,
if
DM's Alliance
the
one.
DM Alliance one.
Okay, I had that because I actually went around. Shout out to Bear. I know we didn't have it for Portland, but I did try and collect the decks, so that's why we actually have what decks are there for Alliance. So if someone can do that for for Baltimore, I'd appreciate it. Because it's hard to talk about, hey, what showed up and what made top cut when you just don't even know what's in the decks.
Right.
So Arcana has the 3 that are listed, and then the last one is what was put together, and it's so all I honestly
That
did
Logos
is,
pod's kind of gross. It's got double Unity Prism and a Scrambler Storm. Reiteration is in there.
Yep, I saw that. That Logos pod's real good.
Yeah, what's its recursion? I got to imagine. It's got a researcher for, I guess, some recursion. Oh, Forgive and Forget. That really doesn't do
Forgive and
anything.
Forget, yeah.
Oh, Forgive and
You're
Forget. You can
asking
archive of 2 different types, so you can go back and get it. Yeah, that's kind of nuts.
well, for Sophia, what really stood out was actually Designer Crick. So 3 power, 2 armor, human scientist, Logos. Each time your opponent discards a card from their hand, draw a card, and Designer Crick captures one. The capture isn't much, but it's the draw that's really important. That, and then you just have straight control with double traumatic echo, life
Right.
ward.
Atrocity.
Even the atrocity of just a hit from what's there, but double Unity Prism to move forward. You have you shouldn't have to gain amber.
Yeah.
So it was
you
very,
shouldn't
very
have is wild, especially if you can get it under. See, I don't know if you play it under against like a head or like a ask again later or trust your feelings. Oh, maybe a trust your feelings.
So
But, like,
that
just the ability to
DM
like, I'm going to call this house, and now you're in a house that maybe doesn't have their ember control, and you hit that. You shouldn't have. Oh, it's bananas. Pretty baller.
So I'll put the Alliance here. I posted in the St. Louis channel, which is about to get nuked somewhere. But the Alliance built from DM was hysterical. It came in as a whopping 67 sass. That's right, boys. That's what made your top 4. So it had your gigantic. I don't know what you were talking about. You couldn't play it, but in Alliance he played it. The Zomok, and that's while Zomok is attacking, ignore taunt, elusive, poison, hazardous, and invulnerable. After fight, deal 2 to a creature for each forge key. The double tie Lord, which is actually pretty solid. After your opponent discards a card from their hand, gain 1. If you're playing in Alliance, that has a little bit more, but nothing really else. It has double ley lines. It has double snapper din. And then in the Unfathomable, it has double Kaipo. Princess Leilani, which just gets nuked because it's a witch.
See, I don't know if my alliance would have been able to beat that. Like, my alliance doesn't have C. Doesn't have C.
Well, so ironically,
Yeah, but if they're not stopping you, it doesn't matter.
This is also true.
So what's
it would
interesting?
really just would have been, can I get the deck moving fast enough?
Yeah,
The
can that deck land a board and win before you win?
The 2 Alliance decks that did not top 8, the bottom 2 were both Coda decks. So that I found interesting. That was not listed here, but it did show up. And again, I think the Coda deck the Coda Alliance that you were playing or would have played, Wookiee, actually is a very, very, very strong deck. And
it is. It still is.
So,
Sheep is right. Should have played it. It does have a Nature's Call, so I could have bounced some stuff, I guess. It's got to save the pack to deal 2 damage to each creature.
yeah.
I mean, Sheep was probably right. I should have. My gut told me to go Alliance regardless because I'm still on my quest. I'm on my quest.
You're on your quest. Okay.
I'm on my quest, right? Like, I screwed the pooch last year. I should have said F all and really just gone back into Alliance and played this deck in Worlds. I did not, because I did not think it was going to be good enough. But it wasn't about that. It was about getting the accolade on the deck. Screwed the pooch there too, so now it's like, well, I can do it again. So we'll see if I can. I don't know if I will be able to do it again, but we'll see. I've already contacted Razcor about Baltimore.
Yeah, I think that your Coda Alliance is strong enough to be able to make a top 8 simply because there's not a lot of players. I don't think it's a top competitive deck. So
I think it is.
There you go.
I mean, it has the ability, right? Because the only thing is, like, I only need a turn from PV, and if it gives me that turn, it can go later Gators and just turn on the burners. So it can also get completely shut out depending on what they hit. So it is what it is. It's one of those things where we won't know now. We'll just have to wait.
On the topic of choosing between Alliance and Archon, as someone who went to the registration table and attempted to register for Archon, actually, I was registered for both tournaments.
I know you were.
Archon
You did
fired,
actually register for both.
luckily, it didn't matter. But when Archon fired, I was the 40th player in the field. Luckily, it didn't make it, so there would have been 2 buys. But yeah, whoever faced me would have faced me in round 1 of Archon just got the buy because when I registered for Alliance, they did not drop me from Archon field. But one thing I will say choosing between Archon and Alliance is that there was a very seamless transition between the end of 4th round for Alliance and then the start of the side event round, which was very convenient. So I would say if you are between the 2 and you are strongly considering playing in the side event on Saturday, note that did start after the 4th round and not the 3rd round, as was the case on Friday. That was actually pretty nice to be able to fully compete in the day 1 of Alliance.
Right.
Not have to drop.
And
So even if you have a top place finish, you can complete all your play and then immediately go play in the side event.
Yeah.
So I did
was
like
well
that.
done.
That was a pretty good feeling.
It was
being able to do that.
was well done because, like, by round 3 or round 4, you kind of know where you sit, right? So you kind of know what you should do, right? So you can either move on to doing something different or takes your chances. But
we keep listening, and it's a lot of X2s that were making final tables.
I mean, it was. You're not wrong. Like, how many X2? Let's see. 3 made it in.
I think that has just a lot to say about the current meta and how
You match up and who's playing matter. Yep.
Yeah. Like, you win it one game, you don't win it the next, especially when you're playing into all this PV because they are so high variance in their cards. Sometimes they hit and just kill you, and sometimes I play into Ewok's Reiteration that I thought was a Rage Reset early in the game just because I'm like, oh, I can discard some of these Logos cards I don't want to play.
And you did.
You were hopeful.
And I did.
And he did.
And then we did draft. Now we're not going to really talk too much about draft. We're getting along on the tooth here. I did draft. Pete, did you do draft?
I did.
And Ewok.
Pete,
All three
Pete
of
got
us
an
did
honorable
draft.
mention for drafting.
Oh yeah, he wasn't
he
going to
did.
draft, but then he
Pete
did.
famously did draft, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Not good enough for award, but good enough to say thank you. What did you guys think? What were your thoughts on draft?
Yeah. Oh,
Pete,
we are doing draft.
Well, we're not going to go like deep into it, but kind of like
Sure.
just your thoughts.
Pleasantly surprised. I thought, it's clear Marcus put a lot of time into it, a lot of thought into it, probably a lot of money into it, and it ran wonderfully. It was pretty neat. I've only drafted in like online formats for like Magic, and then there's Eternal, which is like an asynchronous draft, like just janky stuff.
Does Hearthstone have a draft?
No, they've never. I don't think they've ever bothered to try one.
Okay.
So my experience was super limited. I enjoyed it a whole bunch. And
I mean,
it was
you
really
sort
fun.
of draft in that.
An arena for Hearthstone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, there's not even the illusion of competing with other players, though, with the left and the right. I had Boat on the left of me. Sorry, now I'm getting into details. And he's a Magic guy. So I'm like, oh, he's going to do some like 3D chess on me. He did terrible. So obviously I'm just a natural.
Just a natural.
Yeah,
Ewok,
2-1.
I will counter that. The one person who's actually missing from Archon Arcana. So the three eventual winners were Pubby, Perfect, and then Shadow Meld. Shadow Meld actually ran our group. He was sitting right to the right of me. As someone who actually runs YouTube on drafting, that's a huge advantage. He also happened to be in Marcus's play group because he's down from Florida and had practiced. So I would argue that having run draft before, there is an advantage, but super fun, enjoyable. We had a little bit of a mix up with where one of the pods, one of the groups of 3 cards ended up at the end. So I know on our way home, we were talking about different variants because I think that opening a pod and having, like, for the most part, there's 3 good cards, but if you have 3 really good cards, 12 plus cards, or in DM 3 6 cards or 3 5 cards, versus going ahead and having some variance there where it's a little bit less, was a little bit of an issue. But outside of that, it still was really, really enjoyable. I would play it again. I thought that there's definitely some advantage from having drafted previously, but I enjoyed it. I had fun. The games did not seem super close. The first 2 games were complete blowouts. And then the third game actually was a blowout against me. For Schmel just absolutely destroyed me. So enjoyable, playable. I had fun with it. I went for something. I tried it. It was a different way to play KeyForge.
Yeah, I will give draft 2 thumbs up. I really, really, really enjoyed draft. For me, it was kind of the highlight of the weekend. It did, for me at least, rival team events. I'm not saying I wouldn't like to see team events come back, because I really, 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 really would. So if we could ever bring those back, that'd be great. But draft was phenomenal. Like, I thought, again, Marcus put a lot of time and a lot of effort into this. A little clunky, but overall a lot of fun. Placing pips, going through and finding like a lot of that stuff, like finding like, oh shit, I made a mistake. I didn't want to put that on there.
Okay, in that manner, how many house pips were in all of your pods that you
I have
guys
no
saw?
idea. Devin was on my right, so round 1 I didn't see any.
Did you see any?
No.
Did you see any, Pete?
Sorry, that said Pete. Yes. No, I think I heard of one in our entire pod. I never saw it.
Because Pete, you and I were in the pod. There was one Chevelle which had the double shadows pips. We did not see it. Outside of that, I actually ran a deck with no pips at all. There were
No house pips.
No, there were no pips at all.
Pips.
I actually drafted, and Perfect, who won, also had a deck with no enhanced pips. I went for value off of the cards. There were 2 cards that I drafted which had Amber and then the +1 counters or the damage pips from Mars, but it just wasn't strong enough. It didn't really matter, and it would not have mattered in the final bit. In my opinion, I think for DM, I think that Capture and like Geistoid and Skyborn seem really powerful, and then Shadows with the Steel. Those 3, we ended up. Even though there were only 6 people who said they had,
not the direction I went at all. But
I'm saying that for us there were 6 people who said they picked Shadows, and so somehow we ended up with 7 pods of Shadows. So people were confused by that, but outside of that, it was still a very, very enjoyable experience. But we saw a lot of Shadows, so there was a lot of Steel and Geistoid sending Amber over from Capture to get rid of it right away is powerful.
Yeah,
Pip placement was my favorite part.
Yeah, being able to place it where you want it.
Yep.
Yeah, I would agree too.
But if you never see cards that have pips, it just doesn't matter.
Well, I mean,
better.
Definitely
again,
a Power Gamers fantasy.
I had Hobo to my right, so I never saw pips the first time round. I know he opened up his pack 1 was 2 old switcheroos and a. I'm drawing a blank on it. The one
out of ideas.
Out of ideas. So, and that was the only switcheroos, I guess, that were in the whole, all of them, because I never saw another one played against me or got one. And my pack 2 was triple open the seals, and I grabbed them all. I was like, these aren't going anywhere.
What?
Yeah, I had 3 triple open the seals.
Because they have all the pips.
Because they have 3 discard pips apiece. So I ended up screwing up and losing place because you are drafting a lot of cards.
Who got the big fish?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't take it.
Someone who couldn't play.
Like, I'm hate drafting.
2 of the people that I talked to were like, I'm hate drafting Shadows, and I'm like, great. That's why I saw because that's how I started out. But then, like, I had so many cards in my pile, I lost track at a certain point. So I ended up having 3. What did he call them? Oogie Boogie cards or Boo Boo the Clown cards? I don't remember.
Bozo.
I had Bozo cards. I ended up having 3 of them.
How come he didn't call them Wookiees?
I don't know. I feel like a missed opportunity there, right? But hey. You know, whatever.
Sure.
But it didn't matter because I had 9 discard pips. My third house was Oberos. I never played Oberos. All I did was draw cards and discard cards.
I just leaned into 3 blank checks. So blank check has an Amber Shadows action. Each player shuffles their archives and discard pile into their deck. Discard the top 5 cards of your opponent's deck. Play the top card of their deck.
Guys, I don't think I drafted a creature until we were down to the until it was all that was left.
Yeah.
If it had an Ember Pip on it, it was in a house I was playing, I took it.
I love it.
Both of me and Devin's like, we'll play creatures eventually. I was like, I'm not taking any if I don't have to. So, yeah, it was
but neither of you guys won, so...
No, we didn't, but weird strategy. The guy that did also had the same strategy we did. So, you guys ready for some cool information before we wrap it up? I was just checking the AC email here.
Go ahead. Outside of that, I would say that we did go out Saturday night. So we went to Crack Fox and Hair of the Dog. Mm-hmm. So we got to play some bags where apparently not everyone knew how to play bags or had played bags before. So that was fun. We got to hear some karaoke, even though Wookie did not go ahead and come through for us and sing karaoke.
I was so tired, and I'm like, I am not waiting all the way down. I pulled a sheep, and I'm like,
I'll do karaoke. No.
Well, I was not waiting 20 people. That was not happening.
Yeah, that was true. We would have been there till 2 in the morning.
I was like, I'm fucking sleepy. Please take me to a bed now. And then ended up, because everyone was in the place I was sleeping, I ended up staying up for another 2 hours anyway, so it really didn't matter. But fun fact, we are ranked in Spreaker in a few categories, and I found this kind of interesting. So you guys ready for this?
Yep.
All right. So in the position of leisure, we are ranked number 1 in Peru. We're huge in Peru, guys.
Yes, Peru.
And in leisure, we are ranked number 41 in the Philippines. Cool stuff. All right, cool stuff. I thought it was cool.
I love it. I love it.
In the category of games, again, ranked number 1 in Peru. Somebody's just got us on repeat in Peru. Number 6 in the Philippines. Number 81 in Sweden. Number 92 in Denmark. Number 103 in the Netherlands. Boys, we're going to need you to rank that up.
Yeah.
107 in France, 113 in Spain, and 129 in Ukraine. That one kind
Sounds like we're the real Nordic podcast.
Yeah.
Nordic KeyForge podcast.
I mean, I'm just saying that we got Lord Judo and another Netherlands
Harm,
player
they don't
over there.
listen to
Harm.
us.
I know they don't. They need to start. Go.
And Don KeyForge is there too.
Yeah, 103. We can get that up. So I thought that was fun.
Captain Gale.
Our itty bitty little show is ranked that high in some of these countries. So in games and leisure of all things, which are pretty competitive categories.
I love both those things.
Games and leisure. I do too. Weird story. So,
They're my favorite.
They're my favorite. They're my favorite too. But anything else we got to say? Boys, to TEMU Varghast, Kyle?
I want to drop one controversial thing real quick though. With the late notice on the oublié, I hope they always have a format that only gets announced like 5, 4, or 3 days ahead of the vaults. To me, that was wonderful. It didn't work out because apparently still people had time to gather their really competitive decks, and I didn't do well. But I like that. There should be one day where they just announce it at the last minute. That's my opinion.
There should be a surprise side event.
Yes. Well, not like same day surprise, but like before you get on your flight surprise.
Oh.
So it's for the people that hang on to the piles.
For like whatever you got just like rolling around in your bag.
Actually have them organized.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can find something in it.
That's right.
True story. I could not find one of my Oubliette Amber Skies decks, and I have everything organized by set, alphabetical order. I went through the few decks that were still in my pile from stores, and I'm like, where is this deck? And I could not.
Is it in my basement?
No. No, because typically my decks do not go to you like everyone else. This deck was a store named deck, and it was in the box that I had put over on the side. You know how they have some store name decks? Yeah. That's where it was.
Nice.
And that's why I could not find it. And I woke up in the middle of the night and go, aha, I know where this deck is. So
7 hours that away.
Reason not to go ahead and sort it anywhere else. Just put it in the pile with the box, and I would have been smart. I lost hours.
Oh.
It was fun, though.
I don't know if I want to do a thing with. Should we do a partnership with Dr. Squatch? I don't know.
Ooh, that's a big one.
They make soap.
We did get to go ahead and actually showcase our new sponsors.
Oh, yeah. Well, you did.
You did. The rest of us suck.
You did. Yeah.
But I also got to showcase it in that top 8 sealed as I got my picture. So
there you
look
go.
For it. It was amazing for Malort.
Yeah, I gotta get the new Drazcore logo rolling here shortly, so we can put that on there too. One of these days, I'll get my life together. Probably not today. But any other thoughts that we had from the event? I mean, I thought it was well put together. I thought all the side events were done well, and we didn't really have any snafus. Tangent time was off the charts. Anything else that I missed?
Mark is not to blame.
The biggest thing for the side events is they got to push that list out more than a week before the event. I mean, two or 3 weeks minimum. We had 2 weeks for Portland. I think that's sufficient. What we had for St. Louis was not enough. So
5 days.
I know that there was some things going on behind the scenes with uncertainty of if they could run draft, and they didn't want to push a list if they weren't certain they could actually run all 3 events they said they were going to run. I appreciate that, but they still need to get the list out there sooner.
Yeah, I would agree. Have something. I mean, even if you can't do draft, like
if you can't commit to every single day, see, this is at least what we're doing on Friday, Saturday.
Two of the 3 days, yeah.
2 of the 3.
Because those would have had to have been known well beforehand, I would assume.
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised with how many players.
Judging.
Oh yeah, Dead Sync was there. He was judging. He gave Mr. Perfect a warning. Thanks, Dead Sync. 2 thumbs
only
up.
a soft warning. So
Yeah, it was soft warning.
Don't be too soft, Dead Sync. Nail those guys who need it.
I never got to complain about his tokens. I don't know if anybody else did either. Clearly not. Because I didn't hear anything about it.
His first game was streamed, and the opponent asked for him not to use his tokens.
Oh, really?
Did he comply?
He never had to.
Yes.
I know. It was just... he
never had to. He played Memrox and We Are Mars like turn 2, and that just never left it.
Draw better.
The game was over in 6 minutes, I was told. So, some days you're the hammer, some days you're the nail. But with that being said, we had a great time at St. Louis. Hopefully you guys get out to Baltimore. I know I'm thinking about it now. Yeah. Anything else? No.
Congrats, Unfathomable. Taking 2 different events. Well done, my friends.
He's our TEMU Varghast.
Thank you. I had lots of luck on my side.
I was so close to that luck, and it just did not rub off. I need to snuggle you more.
Yeah. You got to snuggle harder and... Yeah.
It must have been those birds that were keeping us up that first night, man.
Yeah, for real.
And we still say you were supposed to be with the Wookiee Snorzor, and you did not have that. I think that would have had an impact. So,
I definitely think it would.
I didn't even sleep in the same room.
Yeah, no, you were downstairs.
I was on a couch.
It's fine.
So
I woke up in the middle of the night and could still hear you snoring from all the way down the stairs.
I think you guys are full of shit. Because only 2 people that heard me were you and Sheep. Everyone else is like, I didn't hear
No such thing.
I was eating a pizza, and I looked up, and you were on one couch. I looked up again, you're on another couch. You sleep, sir.
You were downstairs.
No, he sleeps when he's in. You know where he sleeps? He sleeps when we get in the car.
Yeah.
As soon as we're in the car, I'm going to sit in the front while I just have Pete and Wookiee in my car, and then... he's out within seconds.
I thought I was doing really good, and then it just happened, and I was like, "Oh well, yeah, no, I don't sleep. I don't sleep anywhere, ever,
brother."
One day,
putting you on the roof.
Put me on a roof. As long as you get one of those like hard cases that locks down.
Put me to bed.
Yeah, I agree. With that being said, it is time to go to beddy bye. Thank you all for listening. We will see you all next week.
May the Forge be with you.
Good
great event.
KeyForge and everyone.
Vivi delenda est.
What does Drascore say?
Happy fortune, everyone.
Happy fortune, everyone. Bye-bye.